This video is about dental deep cleaning treatments, which are also called scaling and root planing treatments, or SRPs. These treatments tend to be rather expensive and a bit painful at times. Oftentimes they want to numb your gums up as they scratch or dig underneath them to dig out what they term build up tartar. So in this video I just want to talk about a few things. I was able to avoid one of these by certain methodology that worked for me, and there'll be links underneath this video that you can follow if you want to learn more, and I do encourage you to do that. There's also my book if you want to learn about this topic, What You Should Know About Gum Disease. So first thing I want to talk about is opinions. In medicine, dentistry, what you have are generally opinions from practitioners. So you should always be under the care of your dentist. But what I want to suggest to you is that you also have the right to seek out opinions from other professionals, other dental professionals. Please don't ever forget that. And particularly when a dentist is avoiding questions or getting frustrated with your questions, to me that's a telltale sign, in my opinion, that you may need to find another dentist. And an interesting thing that you'll find out is, say you took the time to go visit 3 different dentists. Generally you're going to hear 3 different things about what need to be done to your mouth. They are not usually not the same thing, and they're not usually not exactly the same. For instance, let's just talk about cavities for a second. You could be told by one dentist that you have 5 cavities. You go to another dentist who tells you have 2, and then a third dentist says, well, you don't have any. Well, maybe we got something we should keep an eye on, but it's not a cavity yet, something like that. So these are realities in the world, and you are a consumer of both healthcare and dental care, and you have to be wary of what you're being told. And again, you just go get another opinion from somebody else if you're not sure. That's the best course of action. But getting back to the deep cleaning treatment, I just wanted to explain to you that there are, quote, differences of opinion among practitioners, and that if you go to several of them, you're probably going to get told different things about what may or may not need to be done. For example, one time I was only 19 years old and I was told that I needed a gum graft. And so I went in there, got the gum graft, and the dentist had me come back a week or 2 weeks later to check on the progress. And he goes, oh, it didn't work. And he said to me, do you want to try again? And right then and there, a red flag went up for me. I was like, do I want to try again? I'm thinking, you're the doctor. What do you mean, do I want to try again? And the assistant that was in there at the time, she was clearly saw my frustration. I didn't say anything. I didn't say what I was just thinking to the doctor. But he left the room for a minute, and she told me he had just learned this procedure. And I realized I was a guinea pig at this point, and that was not a favorable experience. So again, if you have any question marks in your mind, if you're a little bit unsettled, you're not sure, you're not 100% certain, seek other opinions from other dental practitioners, and you may be surprised at what you discover. I'll tell you another time. I was about 23 years old, and I was outside. I had just left the military, and I was looking for a dentist, and my mother was really happy with her dentist. And I went to visit him, and I said, yeah, I got a little pain back there. He looked in my mouth for about 20 seconds total. Like, that was it. And he said these 2 sentences that don't make any sense when you put them together. He said, I don't see anything wrong. We could do a root canal. I was like, again, red flag. What do you mean? You don't see anything wrong, but let's do a root canal? That doesn't make any sense. And so that's the experience I had there. And I've had other experiences throughout the years, told I had a cavity, and I went back to the very same office and asked the other dentist there, I said, well, did you see what Dr. Brown put in my record? And she said, I saw what she put in there, but I don't see a cavity. So these things, they are opinions. A lot of times it's just an opinion, and if you go to a different practitioner, you're going to get another opinion. So fast forward a few years, I was told I needed this deep cleaning treatment, and I was looking for answers. And it took me about a year. I kept going back, and the dentist and the hygienist were like, no, you need to get that deep cleaning treatment. You need to do it now. And they even told me at one point I need to sign a waiver that if I lost my teeth, it wasn't their fault. That was a little bit dramatic, in my opinion, and also in retrospect, because this was 15 years ago and I haven't lost any teeth, I think it was a little bit overkill. Um, and so I looked further and I found some answers and I applied them. And when I went back, the dentist was shocked. I visibly, her jaw dropped. Literally, I'm not kidding you. It was clear that the look on her face was complete disbelief. And she said, okay, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. You don't need that treatment anymore. And that's the story. And I've come to find out that other people have done something similar to what I've done. I've heard from them over the years. Many of them are my customers, and I hear similar experiences. Now, I want to point out that I am not a dentist, and you should always be under the care of your dental professional to guide you and check your progress at all times. Make sure that somebody's looking after you. Now, again, going back to what I said before, if you're not happy with your dentist, go find another one. It's that easy. I mean, yeah, maybe it'll cost you a little extra to take that time to visit 2 or 3 different dentists, but you got to find one that you're really comfortable with, and also I want you to realize and have the experience that you're going to get different opinions from different doctors. And once you see that in your life, you're going to be a little bit, I mean, if you're like me, you're going to be a little bit shocked, you know? So, anyway, I don't know if this, again, keep yourself under the care of a dental professional at all times, right? That's key number one. But you could take ideas that I have or others have, like perhaps out of my book, What You Should Know About Gum Disease. Get yourself a copy of that and take it to your dentist. Say, hey, you know what? I want to try this. Is it okay if I do that? And they may say yes. And then when you go back, you might find out that you're better. Who knows? I mean, maybe it'll actually work for you too. These things. And it's when it comes to your gum health, there is an objective measure, and most people don't know this. And it's called periodontal pocket depths, and that is the most objective measurement that I'm aware of. And what it comes down to is you want your periodontal pocketing to be 3 millimeters or less. Generally speaking, at that point, most dentists are going to say your gums are healthy. So can the pocket shrink? Absolutely, they can shrink. I've seen them shrink in myself, and I've heard the stories of others. They do shrink. They can shrink. They're not always going to be that deep, but the key is 3 millimeters or less. Generally speaking, most dentists are going to say your gums are healthy at that point. Now, the corollary to that is when you're above 3, most dentists are going to say you have a problem. So what's the takeaway from that? The takeaway is every time you get your teeth cleaned or every time you visit the dentist, ask them what your periodontal pockets are and compare them to the last readings they had. And when you know those numbers yourself, it puts you you have a little bit better idea about what's going on, and it can really help you to know those numbers. So ask them every time. It doesn't take them long to measure them, and they're supposed to do it anyway. In my opinion, every visit should have a check on those periodontal pockets. And what I say to them when I have it done, I don't just say, please check my pockets. I say, please check my pockets and call out every number to me. Okay, they're used to doing that. This is not a hardship on them. It's normal, and they should be doing it anyway. So when they call the numbers out, you're going to know where your bad spots are, if you have any, or if places where you need to do additional work. And so again, the takeaway is you want to get your pocket shrunk to 3 millimeters or less. And generally speaking, the problem that you were having is arrested at that point. And generally speaking, most dentists are going to say your gums are healthy. So that's the idea of where you want to go. Now I'm going to put a link under this video, 2 links probably, of what I used personally to change my situation. And I would love to hear from you. I mean, I hope it works for you too. And actually, when you use one of those 2 links to purchase the device that I used primarily, the primary thing I used, you can also call me with your order number, and I will be glad to talk to you and give you some additional information that may be very helpful to you, and kind of answer maybe some of the questions you might have about my experience or my understandings. But again, you should always be under the care of your local, your dentist or your dental health practitioner. That's important. If you want to know the best type of dentist to go to when you have gum disease, which, by the way, most people do have gum disease. You can ask a dental professional. It's about 75% of people. So, you take you take 10 of your friends and line them up, 7 to 8 of them have a problem, on average, right? So, that it shouldn't be a shock that somebody has gingivitis or gum disease, because most people do when you look at the statistics. The problem is, when you get those pockets, or the benefit is when you get those pockets shrunk, again, generally speaking, most dentists say you're healthy at that point. So that is the end goal. And so anyway, I'll leave those links below the video. You can check it out. Leave your comments too. Like, I want to hear about your dental health experiences, anything that you want to share or discuss. Please leave a comment below. I would be very curious to see your own experiences. Like, have you had that happen to you, where you went to one dentist who said you had a few cavities, another one said no, you don't have any, and so I want to collect those experiences. So if you could leave a comment below, that would be great. So I hope this video helps you. And do you need to get a deep cleaning treatment? Well, that's a good question to ask, and hopefully we've given you some food for thought with this video. Reach out anytime. You can reach out to me if you want to. However, I will, if you purchase through one of those 2 links at the bottom, I will be glad to talk to you for a while and share my understandings and my experience. But again, always be under the care of your local dentist. And if you're not happy with your local dentist, go find another one. You have that right as a patient. And if you're not comfortable, you're always being charged a lot, and you just have a question mark in your mind, is this right? Go seek an opinion from another dentist. You might be surprised at what you find out. So have a great day, and thanks for watching this video. Please comment in the ways we described before. Like, if you have a story to tell about your dental health, I would love, please leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and thanks for participating. Take care. Bye-bye.